Yanikova from Slovakia. They're both seasoned veterans, particularly Miss Yanikova. She's our 10-day two-time champion and course record holder.
Now, do you have to be a follower of Sri Chinmoy to run in the race?
No.
So a lot of these people...
Last year we had 3 people that were not involved in the Sri Chinmoy.
Of all these people, how many do you think are followers?
They all are.
Oh, they all are, okay.
It's just the way the cards fell this year.
Yeah. So how do you qualify for it?
You have to be a seasoned multi-day runner veteran in order to qualify for this race.
Okay.
You need to average 59.61 miles per day in order to finish the race.
Wow.
And so you have to test yourself. You have to test your body and your mind. See if you can do 60 miles and then recover and do it again.
Right.
2 days, 3 days,
Yeah.
a week, 2 weeks, a month and a half. Up almost 2 months to complete this race.
What's the average age, would you say, of these people?
I would say it's over 40 in this race.
Over 40, okay.
Close to it. But I think the race tendency has been, it's becoming a younger person's race because they have a better recovery ability.
Oh, of course.
But the older people have a more of a better focus. They know what they have to do or what they want to do.
Yeah. Who's the oldest person you ever had running this?
We had a 60-year-old man finish the race last year.
Wow.
We had, in 2004, we had a 66-year-old man from Russia, but he only got to about 2,500 miles.
Okay. Well, that's still pretty good.
The 60-year-old man was the first ever to complete the race, and he did very well.
Is there a reward?
Is there a
Reward?
reward?
Of any kind?
Well, they become the race champion. They're added to the list of sterling people who have ever finished the race.
Yeah.
The gentleman that's just passing us now is attempting to finish for the 13th time to tie it with Super Bexer for most finishes.
Oh, wow.
He's also in search of a new race record. He's currently almost on pace to break the record, but it's still 3 weeks to go. If he were to break the record, he would probably finish around now, or close to it, because the record would be 3 weeks from now on day 42, giving it and it would be around 2:30 in the afternoon, and you'd have to get under quicker than that in order to break the record.
Why do you think there's so many people in this race from Eastern Europe and Central Asia, places like that?
It's ironic. There are about 6 or 7 people that come from the area of Ukraine, from Vinnytsia and
why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe it's the psychological makeup, the physical makeup, the family backgrounds.
But they also have heard of Sri Chinmoy, obviously.
Yeah.
So the people in Ukraine...
For them to all come from an area and to all be...
yeah, I'm looking at the names.
World-class multi-day specialists.
Interesting.
It's quite remarkable.
Yes.
And there's no explanation for it, except maybe it's the water they drink, the air they breathe, and the
like
lifestyle and the culture that is permeated.
Comparable to the way the Kenyans and the Ethiopians win the marathon like that.
Kenyans in the Rift Valley.
Yeah.
So many of them became great marathoners.
Right.
Maybe this is a hotbed for guys who want to do this kind of race.
Interesting. Are there any women? I guess there are a couple of women,
There's 2
right?
women in this race. The most we had was 3 last year in one particular race. For the first 13 or 14 editions, Super Bexer from Washington, D.C. was the only person to represent the distaff side.
How many times have you run it?
Me?
Yeah.
I could never do this. The most I ever did was 200 miles in 3 days.
Okay.
To change, and I'm too big.
Yeah, you have to have a certain kind of a body for this, right?
The impact running on a concrete course like this would be devastating to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm just too big for 200 pounds.
Did you ever think about maybe having this on grass? Is there some reason you have it on concrete?
Did, but
other than convenience?
Actually, all right, here's a brief history of the race. After our 1991 1,300-mile race, which at the time was the longest certified race in the world, and we had the biggest field that year. That race also included a 1,000-mile race and a 700-mile race, and there were a total of like 62 competitors between the 3 races. We had a new men's world record for 1,300 miles by Al Howie, and we had the first women's finisher from New Zealand, Sandra Barwood. And she became the first woman in history to run the 1,300-mile race within the legal time limits. For women, it was 19 days, but she did it in 17 and change. And at the end, Sri Chinmoy, the founder of the marathon team and the source of inspiration for all of his disciples worldwide, and also the runner, athlete himself, in addition to all the other multifarious activities he did.
Did he ever run this race?
No, he would never run this race. This was not meant for him. He was a sprinter, and he ran 22 marathons and a few ultras. But it was his vision to have longer races. First of all, serve the running community, and then it would also inspire people in other walks of life not to do the race, but to maybe seek for better qualities. Like the race is called Self-Transcendence.
Yeah.
And the whole point of that was you can do more than what you think you can do.
Yeah.
If you go deep within, if you apply yourself, if you dedicate yourself, you can explore new capabilities, new possibilities within yourself. Because he feels that the divine is within us. It's not far away in a heaven, although there is a so-called heaven that's in more infinite existence than what we have here on Maya. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm giving you the history of the race.
Sure.
At the end of that 1,300-mile race, he said he would be happy if in the nearer distant future his students would put on a 2,700-mile race. And it took us 4 or 5 years to find a spot, which ended up being here. We tried 18 or 20 different parks and venues in the Queens and Brooklyn area. And they either didn't have the proper lighting or facilities or components that we needed, or we were turned down by community boards. The best one would have been right in Cunningham Park.
So that would have been your number one.
It would have been the best venue because it was already about 1,000-meter loop there. It was paved and it was lit at night, and it would have been perfect for us. But the community board in that area turned us down, and we had
Why do you think they
5
turned
or
you?
6 entrants.
Why do you think
was what we had in the beginning of these races?
Why do you think they turned you down?
They're paranoid.
About?
Especially a race that was going to go only from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then we would shut down and drive away.
Yeah.
There was no permanent structure or anything.
Yeah.
Just like this race.
Right.
And, but, you know.
So that was your number one choice? Cunningham Park.
That was like the best. It had the best facilities, but we were turned down among other parks. And we even went to Brooklyn in a few areas, but it would have been a little bit more difficult for us to logistically to service the race. Like this is in the middle of our community practically.
Right.
And for years we used to have our 47-mile race here, which was like our exposure to ultra marathons in general. We ran around the block, the perimeter of Jamaica High School, and then also on the inside of the track. That track was a cinder track, and I did that race like 15 times myself, just as an aside.
Yeah.
But Sri Chinmoy kept upping the ante with the races. He wanted in 1985, which was the first year we started putting on multi-day races in the New York area. He wanted a 5-day and a 1,000-mile race, which had a 15-day cutoff. So, and then the 5-day grew into a 7-day, and then the 7-day after 7 or 8 years became a 10-day, and we just celebrated our 20th anniversary of the 10-day race. But the 10-day race is also a good springboard for finding people who have the capacity to move up to something as difficult and challenging as a 3,100.
Yeah.
And it's just like you climbing, you become a mountain climber, you become a good technical climber. There's always in the back of your mind is Mount Everest. You know,
The ultimate.
peak of
The
the
ultimate.
world.
Yeah.
And many people go there now, and it's kind of de rigueur for climbers who want to experience is the highest.
Right.
Well, in the same sense, this is like the linear running Everest.
Yeah.
And
Pushing
it's
through
called
limits.
by
Yeah.
New York Times, the Everest of ultramarathon.
The Everest of
Plus it's so raw. And it's a difficult surface. It's in the New York summer, which generally is quite warm. But this year, like last year, we're experiencing much cooler weather, climate change, or whatever.
Yeah.
I know the rest of the country can't say that.
Yeah.
France just came in over the weekend from Seattle, and they were saying it was in the 90s in Seattle, which is extremely rare.
Right. Right. Yes, that is right.
All right.
That's good. What's your name again?
My name is Sehishnu Seshal. I'm one of the race directors.
Okay.
I'm also the chief timekeeper and statistician for the 3,100-mile race. And I've been with the marathon team since its inception in 1977. I'm a part-time, retired painter, decorator, former food service manager,
Right.
and I spend the rest of my time working on the races.
So how do you celebrate when it's all over? Is there a celebration ritual?
I sleep for a few days.
I mean, all the people together?
We have, every time a person finishes, we have kind of a mini celebration here. And
Okay.
then the day after the race is over, we have a award ceremony where members of our community can offer their genuine appreciation and concern and applause for the runners, and the runners all get their trophies. They get certificates suitable for framing with their distances and totals and everything.
Where does that take place?
That's in our grounds nearby.
Okay.
Private place where we meet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they also get all kinds of memorabilia attached to the race. And they get to see their comrades maybe not for another year, or some people, circumstances don't bring them to that. But most of the people in the race, because they're disciples of Sri Chinmoy, they know each other. They know where everybody lives. They don't necessarily socialize with everybody, but they have deep respect for each other, because you have to be really good to run this race.
Of course.
Toe the line.
Yes.
You can't be an average jogger. You would get eaten up in a day or two. And by the immensity of the challenge.
Yeah.
What's also interesting is this race isn't a round-the-clock adventure. It's a 6 a.m. to midnight. So you've only got 18 hours to accomplish your goal of getting to at least 59.6 miles per day. And so you can't waste time. So they only take like 2, 3, maybe 4 at the most breaks at 10 to 20 minutes.
Right.
Or maybe they'll really stay down long for half an hour and then only take 1 or 2 other breaks throughout the day. They're constantly stopping to change shoes. They go through maybe 15 to 20 pairs of shoes.
15 to 20 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Depending upon their running style or their preference for a kind of shoe. Some of the shoes get torn up to pieces by the course.
Wow.
It also depends on the running style. Some people are a real shuffle, scrape the pavement kind of style, and others, they're very light on their feet, so there's much less impact.
Yeah.
But I would say even the people that get by with fewer shoes are still going to go through 12 to 14 pairs.
Wow.
And minimalist shoes, very few people use them.
Yeah.
They don't really provide enough cushion, and especially with the constant motion on a hard surface like this.
Is there any eating done during the day?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
We have an offsite.
The normal thing, carbohydrates?
We have an offsite kitchen that provides 3 full meals, and they're made to specification because there are people that don't eat gluten or don't want sugar or don't want dairy or want this or want that. And there's others who will eat anything that moves.
Yeah. What about bathroom breaks?
And bathroom, we have porta-sands there, and they stay in apartments that we rent, or they stay with friends. And most of the living places are less than a mile away from here.
Right.
And some of the guys ride their bikes to and from the race, and others we speed home at night and pick them up in the morning.
Okay.
The same with the ladies. We have a couple of chauffeurs that bring them here.
So, but if you're running from midnight and then 6 in the morning, you can't have much sleep then.
No, you can't.
Very little sleep.
Yeah, it's only a 6-hour break off from the course.
Wow.
So there's a certain amount of sleep deprivation involved.
Has to be. Yeah.
Being off the course for 6 hours is, we felt, just enough time for there to be
Recover.
a little bit of regeneration.
Yeah. And the final day?
Muscle tissue and fiber, you know, at the cellular level.
Sure.
But that's where the strength in doing multi-day races and the mind over matter kind of aspect comes into it. Because after a few days after the race is over, they still have the energy going, but the body has to, at some point, take its due. It has to shut down and repair itself. But because they've done these kinds of races so many times,
Declan, you want to
they're on another
salad
level.
in the
Right, yeah, they know how it works.
They know how it works and they know their
You wanna
bodies
do it for them?
extremely well.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So the final day is August 4?
Yeah, just
August
take
4th
some
this
cups
year,
and
that's a Tuesday at
put fork
midnight.
and some salad so
Hopefully
we-
everybody finishes before then.
Well, before then.
Yeah, you never know. You don't know what.
Just a question of when you get to the distance.
Yeah.
Right.
Right now, the first 9 are on pace. Obviously, the guy in 12th position will not finish because he dropped out of the race.
Okay.
Cunningham. And the other 2 gentlemen from Slovakia just above him they're about 60 miles below or 70 miles below where they should be. But they have an outside shot of finishing. Don't know if they will.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Okay. Here's your brochure.